All right, Kathleen, you just passed the PMP a little while ago. How do you feel now?
Relieved.
Okay.
I would definitely have to say relieved. Just so glad that part of my life is behind me.
I can dig it. All right, cool. So you have a little bit minorly different story than other people. You're in, service in a sense. Like, why did you get what's your little background and why did you want to get your PMP?
Well, I mean, I've been doing Lean Six Sigma. I'm a certified Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. So I've been running projects. And I've been a program manager where I had project managers working for me. So I've been working in the project management world for years. However, as I, kind of grew in my career, I got hired. I actually teach in higher ed. I teach project management, and it really just became important to document, everything that I've done and get that credential. I teach it to college students. I teach project management. So even though I had the experience behind me, I really had a lot of the knowledge base. Just getting that credential just to showcase what I've done became more and more important.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so I know that you went through the accelerator, you passed, you did amazingly. Did you do any prep before you got involved with this, or what was it like?
Yes, I took exam prep through another program, the same school that I did a lot of my Lean Six Sigma stuff. I had to do continuing ed to maintain that certification. So I was like, oh, great opportunity. I'll take some project management prep with them. And it was super confusing. It was, 4 or 6 weeks. They were like, read 172 pages in the PMBOK. And I'm like, I don't want to read the PMBOK. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, I've already read the PMBOK. I'm familiar with it. It did not feel like exam prep at all. And I felt more confused than anything. I'm like, I know this stuff. Why are they making it so hard? Yeah, so I struggled. And, I'll be honest, I also consult. I do, as I mentioned, Lean Six Sigma. So I had been consulting with a firm that works a lot in project management. And I had been talking to some of the consultants. I'm like, how did you prep, to prepare? And they actually said, oh, you gotta find this Scott Payne guy, PMP Master Prep. He really breaks it down and helps you understand how the pieces fit together. So that's how I found you, a referral from some professional consultants. And once I took the course and saw I actually bought the audiobook first. Okay. So I bought the audiobook on Audible and started listening to it. And then I was like, this is what I need to do. I just need to, buckle up and take this course, because I was looking for something with videos. The other PMP prep course I had 1 hour of instructor guidance per week. And it was a whole bunch of different pieces, but it didn't really bring them together. And it also didn't prepare you for the exam. Like, I felt comfortable with the knowledge. I had seen a lot of it before, but I really didn't feel comfortable because I didn't have that going into the exam was unknown. So, your program really helped me feel confident to keep moving through the program. All your videos saying, hey, trust the process, let it work, were fantastic. And then it was just like, all right, well, they're telling me I'm ready. Let's just do it.
That's awesome. So we talked about and I think that probably resonates with a lot of people. I mean, you're not just green coming out of the, out of school or anything. Like, you teach project management, you lead Lean Six Sigma, Black Belt projects, you're consulting, you're doing stuff, like, your experience. And still, even because that, even in light of that, the traditional training was, made you question even your sanity in a sense. What was different? When you started getting into the accelerator, what is different? I know you talked a little bit about it, but what resonated? How did it have an effect on you?
Okay, so first, the videos are extremely helpful. A lot of other programs push off a lot of reading, and reading's great, but what you're able to do as a professional educator, you have mixed modes, right? So you have some videos, it's backed up with this, there's some interaction here, you have these support pieces, and then you have the dialing video where you're going through the questions and you're focusing on the logic of the question. Nobody had said, at the end of my PMP exam prep, they were like, here's 200 questions, just keep going through it, until you get 80%. I was like, nobody's explaining the logic. They didn't teach me the little tricks of how to break down the question and to focus on what's the most right thing. What are they truly asking here? They didn't really break down that question logic. Like, I felt I had the information, just I didn't know what to do for the exam. And I felt more lost going through the other PMP exam prep. And it was frustrating and really discouraging. So, your program, oh yeah, it was terrible. But your program, as soon as you start it, I love your little parachute guy. And I told a lot of people about that. I'm like, you just go in and he starts by, here's a little parachute and here's where you land. And these people in the factory are proud to produce what? And, it breaks it all down and it kind of makes it fun and engaging. And you're able to just kind of sit there and watch a video. You go further along. I could take the embedded practice test and then I would be like, oh, I don't think I really understood. When I missed the question, I'd be like, I don't really think I understood that. I could then go back and kind of watch it again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And who was your coach?
Well, I've had a couple.
Okay.
The last one was Jason.
Was who?
Justin. Sorry.
Justin. Sorry. I It just broke up in my head. All right, cool. And then everybody's got their own journey. How did the accountability calls, you talk about mixed models and different stuff. I tried to set the accountability calls up for strategic reasons. I don't want to tell you what they are, but how did they help you, or did they help you?
So it was nice at first it was nice to see that, other, just kind of have that relatability of okay, well, these people are working through it too. So I didn't feel so alone. But at the same time, I started to build, a little bit of confidence when someone else would answer it, whether, you play along, you're like, oh, cool, I got that one right. Then I didn't call in for a long time, just because it didn't work with my schedule. But then I called in the last 2 weeks. I was like, just because of my schedule, it's I have to take it, this day. I can get in for an exam in person. I wanted to do that. So I just kind of crunched in those last two or three, 4 calls. They were really yeah, you're ready. And I needed that. But the calls combined with the last few stages of your program, I wouldn't have felt confident until I got to that very end of the program. I think it was day 6, when you're actually sitting there, going through the questions and the last few things there. That's really that confidence builder. Even at day 4 and 5, I still felt a little nervous, but as soon as you get to that day 6 and you start getting in there and answering those questions again, it really helps.
That's cool. That's awesome. And in the exam, how did you manage? You're not a not confident person. I can pick it up. You're confident, you're capable, and those things. Did you have any doubts or anything? How did you maintain confidence and stuff? Okay.
The entire time, it was a mess. And one of the things I wanted to pass along to you is the clock counts down backwards.
Right. We're making the change. We're counting. We're matching that in the new system.
Because in my mind, I had, they gave me a little blank card I could use a dry erase marker on. And I was like, wait, where's my time? I got to do the math. And I was like, I don't have time to do the math. And I kind of had this struggle back and forth in this panic. But you know what? There wasn't, the whole time I was a little bit panicking in my mind going, man, I'm going to have to find time to take this again. And this is going to be a huge hassle. And, the whole time I would love to tell you, oh, I was so confident. And no, I really wasn't, because, it just is one of those things where you're still a little unsure. And I think that's where those accountability calls come in, is because, I kept going, you know what? They told me I was ready. I think you had Amanda. I hope I'm not saying her name wrong. But one of the other, folks that I dialed in, she's like, you're ready. And I just really needed that. I needed to hear her, and I needed to hear Justin, in my mind going, they told me I'm ready. Because it was a different experience. I have several professional certifications, and for some reason that PMP one, that was tough.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I think it's I think it's really cool that you shared like, yo, I was still a little nervous during the thing and there's doubt. And it's kind of like you're walking into a room and you're like, well, I'm here, I got to do it. So it's like, I mean, it gets scary, whatever. I was thinking about my mom, like, what would my mom say? I'm like, dude, I'm like a 30-something-year-old man. Like, what am I doing? Like, and so I appreciate you sharing that. So if there's people,
I was panicking the entire time.
You're panicking.
Yeah,
But you got through, you did really well. It's amazing.
I got above target and everything. And I said, well, who would have guessed that? But like, I was panicking because I couldn't do the math. Like I was seriously like, well, if I'm at 2 hours and 45 minutes and I have an hour, I have 165 left and I have 75 and am I on target? Am I not on target?
Right.
Like I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop myself to do the math because I was scared of how much time it would take. But it was like simple math. So I was still panicking. It was crazy. Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah. So there's people out there probably resonate with your story. Like they did the boring boot camps. They like made them question their own, like, you know, competency or whatever.
Sanity.
Yeah. Sanity. That's another one. And they want to be where you are. So like, what changes should they make? What should be the steps they follow? What advice do you have for them?
I got to tell you, your program's the easiest. I've recommended it to, probably a dozen people. I've seen some of the other things are out there. I've seen how the information's presented. And again, I work in higher ed, I work in academia, and a lot of their approaches are very theoretical. So I think it makes it hard to grasp, whereas your approach is very practical. It's very broken down into small chunks that make getting your PMP an attainable goal.
That's awesome. Well, I really, really appreciate it. I mean, you gave me a bunch of ideas that I started writing down about different things to add to we're going to flip the clock. We're going to do some other things. We already have that in the backlog, but I'm going to push it up toward the top. And then, like a bunch of ideas that you gave me. I really, really am proud of how you did. I'm super pumped, like, that you were able to like stick to it, move through it. You overcame everything. You did amazingly. And now on to the next one, like on to the next thing. So just wanted to say congratulations. We're happy that we were able to help you and we're proud of you.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm very grateful for the help. Like I said, I was discouraged. Going through some of those other high dollar, highly reputable, highly recognized, well-respected programs. But I just didn't see the results. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about people, but while I'm here, I will. Like, they're bad at what they do. They should look themselves in the mirror. And if they want to challenge me to 100 people for $100,000, I'm more than happy to do it. And we'll give the money to charity.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So cool. Great job. Hang on. Let's talk after. I got some ideas. See you soon.
Thanks.